Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode and the kickoff of our season 4 episode. Wow, season 4. We've done this for 4 seasons. What the?
Do I need to do that again?
uh, I was not prepared for that. Oh boy. Okay.
I'm never gonna actually tell you when I do stuff like that.
Oh, I know. I know. It throws me off every time, though.
Oh man.
Oh.
Well, here we are
Anyways,
again.
same old song and dance once again.
Pretty much. Pretty much. Season 4 kicking off here about a week before Thursday night football. And there's a lot to say, Shane. I mean, obviously, we haven't really had any casts since the draft. And obviously, there's been a lot of updates that have happened there, players in new places, a lot of changes as far as how the season's going to look and everything. I'm excited to dive into it, see what's going to kind of happen this year.
Deshaun
And
Watson
yeah,
getting his suspension.
yeah, that's one of the things definitely to name that I'm not
Uh,
too overly thrilled about that. But like I said, I try and avoid the political conversation
uh,
here. I'm here to talk about the games themselves and the matchups.
Cause what?
But
He went from 6 games to 11.
yeah, it's basically just so that they could have him play the Texans, and so that the NFL can get more viewership on a game that seems like it'd be a throwaway
Yeah,
game.
the
Oh
NFL
no,
for
I'm serious.
no, I believe you. Cause the NFL this year, for whatever reason, is very much like we want revenge games all year long.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got Broncos and Seahawks happening, on the first Monday Night Football. You know what I mean?
You got Browns and Panthers in their week
Yep.
1. Oh boy.
Yep, there he goes. Another example right there.
It's there's gonna be a lot of just anger this week.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Is there any other ones that are going to be really interesting that we're missing out on?
There's an offensive lineman revenge.
Yeah, there's Sunday morning football, Baltimore Ravens and New York Jets. It's Joe Flacco's revenge game because Zach Wilson's not playing,
Oh, I mean, Joe Flacco's been with the Jets for a while, so that's kind of meh.
but he's playing the Ravens.
That's true. The Jaguars and the Commanders have like the offensive lineman revenge game with Andrew Norwell on the Commanders and Brandon Scherf on the Jaguars, so they swapped basically.
Sunday night football is the Buccaneers versus the Cowboys. Remember, that was the first game of last season, which ended a
Right.
little questionable.
Right, and that's the one that I think I scratched my head the most on. I was like, wait, we're getting the same matchup from week 1 last year in week 1 this year?
Yeah, tell me about it, right?
I thought that was just weird. I'm like, I don't think that's really happened too often before.
No, I think you're right. I remember when I first read the schedule, because obviously, before going into this podcast, I really was only looking at my own team schedule.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um, and so, of course, when they started going through this again, I got to Sunday Night Football, and I was like, really? Bucks and Cowboys again? Okay.
I looked at that too. I was like, I don't understand this, but okay.
Okay. Anyway, we're not going to go too much into the news. We've kind of glossed over a couple of new updates. Really the only thing, Shane, that we have, brought up, that we could even bring up today is, like, for example, is Harold Landry's injury or his ACL with the Titans, which definitely decreases the Titans' chances of,
Yeah.
taking full control of the AFC South. Before, I would say this, though, because obviously that's basically our injury report before the season even gets started. And of course, Shane, as we know, basically at the beginning of every episode, we always have to go over an injury report. There's always someone hurt because it's football.
Everybody
Um,
gets hurt at some point.
oh yeah, absolutely. But Shane, looking ahead here at some of the teams and some of the divisions, who do you have your eyes on going into the season?
Oh, we want to do like our division winners right now?
I wouldn't say that. I would say more along the lines of if you could pick your super preseason Super Bowl picks. You know what I mean?
Oh, honestly, I think we're gonna get a preview of what very well could be the Super Bowl this week on next Thursday with the Bills versus the Rams.
I agree. I feel like the Bills are a clear number one team going into the preseason. They got MVP caliber quarterback, strong running back core, great wide receivers, good offensive line, and what has been considered the best defense of this season.
Yep, and then the
So
Rams are returning Super Bowl champions. I mean, uh, do I want to change off the Rams? See, now I got myself doubting.
well, let's go in for it. And as far as the start of our matchups, we've got, of course, the first one, which is the Bills and the Rams. Your prediction is that you said that the Bills would win 27-17. I mean, mine isn't really all that close by any means either. I have the Bills winning 31-24. Before we go into our matchup monster, why do we think we made those picks, Shane? I'll start with you.
Oh, mine is because I believe Matthew Stafford is still dealing with a slight injury in his throwing elbow, so
Mhm.
even though it's not like a major injury, I'm just like, you're not gonna be playing at 100% compared to Josh Allen, the Buffalo's offense.
I would agree. I feel like more what I'm expecting is I'm expecting the Bills to come out swinging. You know what
Oh
I
yeah,
mean? On their big debut night, they get to have the first game of the season. Whereas, we look at the Rams, yes, they are defending Super Bowl champions, but they come out of this and they could be a little bit shaky going into it, is what I think.
and also the Bills either here's gonna be the funny part, and we're gonna kick off kick. Wow, I can't talk today. Apparently, I am sorry. We're going to kick off the first game of the year with what ended the Bills season last year, and that's a coin flip.
Yes, this is very true.
So
But at least
I
that
think the
rule
Bills
has
are going to be
changed.
playing a little angry about that.
Yes, that is highly possible because they're probably thinking to themselves, "Oh, we should have been in that Super Bowl with the Rams last year."
For them, it's more of a if we lose the coin flip, we gotta never lose the game when we lose a coin flip again. If they win the coin flip, they're like, cool, we got the advantage of winning a coin flip.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. As far as the matchup monster, though, for this first game, who do you really have your eyes on, Shane?
uh, you know, I love this question. I hate this question because at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to pick the obvious person.
Sure. Yeah.
That's the hard part. Ugh.
I mean, if you
Ugh.
need me to say it, I will say it, and I will say that obviously, I think the person that you got to keep your eyes on the most in this game is Josh Allen.
Yeah, I know. That's the
Start
easy
the,
choice. You know
the
what?
start of
You
his
know
the
what?
start of his MVP campaign.
You know what? I'm gonna be ballsy on this one.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Gabriel Davis.
Gabriel Davis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Cause you're gonna have Ramsey guarding Stephon Diggs the whole night, so it's gonna be a hard, heated, contested battle between those two all throughout the night.
Sure.
So instead of targeting his favorite receiver in Stephon Diggs, he might be targeting Gabriel Davis a little bit more.
Right. That's certainly
Yeah,
possible.
yeah. See, I'm not full of bad ideas. Only some of them are half good.
Well, maybe for my fantasy, maybe he targets Dawson Knox a little bit more.
Oh, man, Dawson Knox.
Okay, then. Moving into the start of our Sunday morning football features. First one we've got up on the board here is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Detroit Lions. Jane, we agree on who's winning out this game, and that's the Eagles. Once again, the Lions start the season 0-1. Oh, big surprise.
How many seasons in a row is that basically? Is that like
That's,
8?
that's a great question. Why don't you give the scores while I look that up?
So our score predictions are very similar to one another. I said 28-12 the Eagles will win it, and you said 28-14, giving the Lions a little bit more credit.
Just a little bit, but not all that
Hey, they're
much.
in your division. You know them better.
Yes, but at the same time, I mean, it's the Lions, so I don't know.
Uh, who do you have as your matchup monster?
I would tell you in a second. I'm still trying to look for the exact information as far as when the Lions have lost their first game. I'm not really getting anything specific for
Sad,
me.
sad day.
Apart, yeah, apart from some team or some site hypothesizing that the Lions may be the NFL's first 0-17 team. I don't know about that, but
I don't think they're that bad. I don't think that they're
no,
that bad. I still think
yeah,
that they're pretty. They're not the worst team in the league, but they're not good.
for sure, for sure. If I'm going to talk about someone who's actually going to be a really key player and may be effective, I'm going to go on the losing side, and I'm going to say keep your eyes on DeAndre Swift in this first game.
Ooh, okay, okay.
Yeah. See what he can do as far as his ability to become that running back for the Lions now that he's healthy again. See what he can do against that Eagles defensive line. If I had to pick someone on the Eagles, I mean, obviously my eyes are on Jalen Hurts. He's supposed to be highly touted as this, absolute fantasy monster this year.
Yeah,
I'm
but he
kind of at
gets
this
all of
point.
his fantasy points from running.
Yeah, but like I'll believe it when I see it. You know what I mean? As
Right.
far as whether he's actually going to be effective or not.
Yeah, I
You know
know.
what I mean?
Yeah, I was just looking at the 53-man roster for the Eagles right now, and I'm just like, yeah, I have a lot of questions on this one. So, ooh,
The
I think I'm
Eagles
gonna agree
are,
with you on DeAndre Swift. Honestly, I think he's gonna be the brightest spot in the game.
but at the same time, remember though, the Eagles are actually, as of right now, by most people projected to be the winners of the NFC East division.
Oh, I saw that too, and I was like, ah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Well, here's why, Shane. I'll only just offer this just looking back on history because I usually like to refer back to historical records. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, I do have a degree in history. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason for it. But
Nerd.
but anyway, where I was going with this, I was waiting for your response first. Is consistently, I guess it's for the past like 20 years or something like that. If an NFC East team has won their division one year, they will not win it the next year. It will be another team.
That is very interesting.
Which in this case would mean that I guess right now, if you were just looking at it at face value, you'd say, well, of course, probably the best team to win the NFC East right now is the Dallas Cowboys. But the Dallas Cowboys won the division last year. So there is a lot of discussion about, well, they're not going to win it this year because that's how history has gone for the
Hey, you
NFC
never
East.
know. It could be the commies. It still feels weird to say. I'm still trying to get used to it.
Yeah, you and me both. All right. Moving
Okay.
on here.
Yes,
Moving on here,
please.
we've got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Chicago Bears. Now, Shane, again, close scores as far as what we projected. You're saying the Bears win 17-14. I'm saying the Bears win by a point, 17-16. I think the biggest reason that we need to stress, because obviously the Bears are not projected to be some big winning team this season. But the reason being is we're not slightly, we're actually pretty concerned as to how effective is Trey Lance going to be in his first official start. Is he actually going to be able to play well for the 49ers, or is he going to come out shaky? And will the Bears take advantage of that and just barely squeak away with a win?
Yeah, for me, it all comes down to Trey Lance in this game. Honestly, it's not really the Bears versus 49ers. Is Trey Lance a truly good quarterback, or are a lot of the concerns people have been looking at with him with why they didn't trade Jimmy G, why didn't they cut him or anything, and ended up signing him to a 1-year deal? Was it because they truly don't believe in Trey Lance?
Uh, yeah, that's a good point. Although I will say this really quickly, shout out to QB number 3 on the 49ers roster, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, came from the same high school as I do. Represent, my brother.
Mike, oh my gosh. Apparently you just live in a small world because you were telling me the other day, like, from our mission, the Panthers backup running back was in one of your areas on our mission.
That's true. Not like I knew the guy, though. You know
Well,
what I
I mean,
mean?
still, it's still kind of cool.
Yeah, yeah, no, I,
It,
I agree with that.
anyways, who do you have as your matchup monster for your boys versus the Niners?
Let me put it to you this way. I'm going to give actually an offensive and defensive person to keep an eye on for both
Ooh,
teams.
okay, okay.
Okay. For the Bears, on the offensive side, let's keep an eye on Justin Fields. I
I
want to say
agree.
David Montgomery, but I want to see what Fields can do in his first start in his sophomore season. On the defensive side, keep an eye on Robert Quinn. That dude is supposed to be really, really good. I'd like to see if he can capitalize off of his last season.
Even with no Khalil Mack.
No, but he still has Roquan, and Roquan decided to stick around.
That's true.
So I guess we'll see.
And I will say, there are some analysts that project Justin Fields to be the second best quarterback out of the last year's draft class. So they're expecting
Yes.
him to boom very big.
Right. We'll have to see what happens with that offensive line. He gets pressured more than a lot of other quarterbacks in this league do. And just because he had an impressive preseason doesn't mean anything. I mean, the Lions in '08 went undefeated in the preseason and then went 0-16 in the regular season. That says nothing.
And they've been
But
on a team with a horrible offensive line for the past like 5 years. So yeah, your offensive
there you
line
go.
matters, people.
Battles are like won and lost in the trenches.
Yep.
On the 49ers side, I absolutely have to say, even though we're saying, oh, let's keep an eye on Trey Lance and whatnot, I would say that I would say that you should keep an eye on George Kittle. See what he can do when working with Lance.
See, in one of my fantasy leagues, I'm actually trying to trade away George Kittle right now.
And then,
It's in my keeper league. I literally kept him for the purpose to try and trade him.
yeah, it's not going so well, apparently.
I'm trying to get Keenan Allen for him.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's
On the defensive side for the 49ers, um, I, here's the biggest thing. I fully expect to see Nick Bosa just going after Justin Fields and
oh yeah.
probably even getting a couple of sacks on him. So, with that being said, Nick Bosa.
What you want to make a prediction for how many times George or not George, Justin Fields will get sacked?
3 times.
I'm thinking three as well. I feel like three is gonna be the magic number, and that's kind of
Yep.
bad.
Yeah. All right, moving on here. We've got the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Shane, we've got the Bengals winning by a long shot. You say 31-10. I say 33-13. I think our biggest reason behind this is because the Bengals are looking to aim at a return to the Super Bowl. They've still got some very talented players on that roster. Got a lot of the really talented people still sticking around. Seeing Jamar Chase take a big step in his sophomore season. Joe Burrow continues to replicate his success. Joe Mixon's a big player as well. On the Steelers side, there's a couple of concerns. The defense could still technically be good, despite the fact that they lost TJ Watt to a preseason injury. Hopefully, it was said that nothing was that concerning. I don't know. We'll see. But that's the defensive side for the Steelers. On the offensive side, there's some questions about some of the receivers as to how effective they're going to be. And that is because Mitchell Trubisky is projected to be the starter for the Steelers, who hasn't had a very stellar record as far as being a quarterback. Also, he has the issue of the Steelers' offensive line is bad.
I say throw Kenny Pickett in there and let him ball out.
I almost think it doesn't even matter whether it's Trubisky or
Sure.
Pickett if they don't fix the offensive line issue. I mean, I know the easiest thing to do is always to blame the quarterback, and obviously that's a big thing that Trubisky has dealt with pretty much his entire NFL career. But a lot of it comes down to the offensive line. That's one of the reasons Trubisky probably struggled with the Bears. Bad offensive line, bad play calling. At least in this case, Trubisky has Tomlin as his coach for the Steelers, so at least they can potentially avoid bad play calling.
Yep.
But
I
O
will
line,
say
it's the
the
thing.
Bengals also got a massive upgrade in their offensive line.
Yes.
They saw how badly Joe Burrow got hurt, and they're just like, you know what? We're just gonna buy him all the protection he needs.
Yep, I think that was a good call. Now, with that being said, matchup monsters. Who do we got?
I feel like it's going to be kind of a, you know, I think I'm gonna go with Joe Mixon on it, honestly.
I would agree with that, but I'm also going to offer up Jamar Chase for his ability to see what he can do against the secondary of the Steelers.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jamar Chase is the safe bet, but I wanted to go with Mixon because I'm like, maybe Tomlin will be a smart coach and prepare for the deep passing game to Jamar Chase a lot and not as prepared for Joe Mixon.
Oh, I don't care as long as the Steelers defense is not prepared because both Mixon and Chase are on my fantasy team.
Is that the one that we're in together?
Yes, it is that one actually.
Dang. Dang. I
All
was like,
right.
wait a minute.
Now you're getting nervous.
You, yeah, yeah, you really got both of them.
Yep. I mean I had to trade for Mixon, but I drafted Chase.
Yeah, that's right. I was like, how did you get Mixon? I'm like, oh yeah, you got it in trade. I forgot.
Yep, I did.
You
Yep.
also you also got another receiver from me too.
I did. I did. Thank you for that, by the way. We'll get into that later.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
go on with the New England Patriots. Miami Dolphins got a divisional matchup there as well. Shane, we're going for the Dolphins to win. And look, I know there's a lot of questions about the Dolphins as far as Tua Tagovailoa's effectiveness. There's been the microscope on the Dolphins because they just got fined and punished for tampering with Tom Brady. Tyreek Hill is there now, and apparently the dude can't shut his mouth about the Chiefs. Don't know what's going on there. Um, but long story short, the Patriots, there's still some concerns about how effective Mac Jones really is and if the Patriots can take that next step forward and actually make it back to the playoffs. For this first game, we're saying no. Dolphins win. We're both saying 24-17. My matchup monster, Tyreek Hill.
And you want to know something? I was leaning towards the Patriots a little bit, and then I talked to a diehard Patriots fan, and he said, "Yeah, the Patriots haven't beat the Dolphins in the Dolphins' home in a long time." And I was like, "Huh, interesting."
Go off history again. It's a thing.
Yep, history is safe. You know, why I don't want to be boring. Like this season, I am very committed to not picking the obvious boring choice. I want to be more abstract.
Hey, then go with Mike Gesicki. I don't know.
I was thinking about that, but no, I'm gonna go with Jalen Waddle. I'm gonna go with the Penguin,
Okay.
Penguin man. Now, see, if I
All
was
right,
real crazy,
then.
I'd just put a backup quarterback on the list.
There you go. They somehow managed to sign Josh Rosen right before their first game.
Oh, has he already been with the Dolphins?
Yes, he has.
Sheesh. Oh, that poor man. I feel like he never even got a chance.
Nope. But he's also not very good. So
That's very
whatever.
true. All right, now the revenge game. Ooh, Cleveland Browns versus Carolina Panthers. After the Browns shipped off Baker Mayfield in a very sad and disappointing way, Baker Mayfield, he came out this week and he was hot. He was ready to go against the Browns and kind of curb stomp them.
Well, if Baker can play well with as far as his ability to pass, which hasn't necessarily been proven, and if not, they're just utilizing the running game with Christian McCaffrey, who's due for an injury at any time.
I'm calling it
Um,
injury game 2 at the latest.
oh god, yeah, but you might be right. That's the thing. You might be right. Anyway, because of the fact that the Browns, Deshaun Watson has to serve a suspension, they've got Jacoby Brissett as their backup QB. We're at least expecting, both of us were expecting the Panthers to just barely squeak by with a win. We're both picking the Panthers to win 21-20.
Yep, so who do you have as your matchup monster for this cool revenge story, but kind of terrible game?
I expect McCaffrey to have a good first game, so I got him.
You're saying McCaffrey. I'm gonna go with Mayfield. I want Baker to put his money where his mouth is and dominate the Browns. And if a
Right then,
receiver
bro.
fumbles, it's not on him. I want Mayfield to ball out, but I don't really care how the Panthers do, honestly.
Just to see if he can get his revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then we've got another division matchup with the Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans. You've got the Colts winning 31-17. I've got the Colts winning 31-9. We talked about this recently, Shane, that we said, especially now with the Titans having more injuries, questions with Ryan Tannehill, hoping waiting to see how exactly Derrick Henry will rebound. We've got our pick as far as the Colts are going to be the team that takes the AFC South this year. This is a good way to start it off.
With an easy win against probably one of the weakest teams in the league, and in my opinion, I think the Texans are now the weakest team in the AFC South.
Yeah, I would agree.
So your matchup monster, who do you have for this game?
Um, I think the Texans are going to do their best to prepare for Jonathan Taylor. I think a lot of teams are going to start doing that now. Taylor could still run over him because I don't know if that Houston Texans team is that good defensive wise, but I will take a different step in that direction and say it's
Michael
Darius
Pittman?
Leonard.
What?
I'm gonna go with Darius Leonard on the defensive side and say he's gonna be really good at getting the ball away from what is it? Davis Mills? Is he
Yeah,
the
Mills.
Texans QB?
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of offended that you did that. I started typing out Pittman because I'm like, oh, you're gonna list the player that we just traded for not too long ago.
And I hope he does
Sheesh.
well too. He's my flex option.
I was just like, oh, he's gonna say Pittman. Yeah, that's why. Like, we talked about this for a while. We made the trade happen. I'm like, wow, just did not care about Pittman once he got him. Apparently.
Oh no, I absolutely care.
Honestly, I think Pittman is going to have like a superstar season this season with the upgraded quarterback in Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay. Our next one that we have is the New Orleans Saints versus the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, Shane, I just changed my score.
Okay.
Shane,
Nope,
what?
nope. I can't do this game. Go ahead. I need a minute.
Okay. Shane, your prediction was that the Saints would win 28-16. Well, I couldn't help it because it's the Falcons, and I said the Saints would win 28-3.
My guy. I gotta figure out. Do the Falcons and the Patriots play each other this season?
I don't know,
Oh,
maybe.
I'm going on the research to find.
Oh man.
Please tell me they do.
I
Please
love how
tell
if you type, I love how if you even just type in Falcons versus Patriots, one of the options that comes up, top options is 28-3.
Oh, they do not play each other this season. Sad.
Bummer. Anyway, we both have the Saints picking getting the win there. The Falcons are projected to be one of the worst teams in the NFL this year.
I think they are
Um,
going to be the worst team.
if not, it's the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Possibly even the Texans, but I'm going to err on the NFC side and say it's either the Seahawks or the Falcons.
All right, who do you have as your matchup monster? My gosh.
But Michael Thomas.
You know what? I was going to say Michael Thomas as well, mainly because I want to see the return of Michael Thomas.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right, next up we got the Baltimore Ravens versus the New York Jets. I'm sorry, I think the Jets are going to be a garbage team.
It's possible.
Cuz what? They
Certainly
lost
possible.
they lost Mekhi Beton recently.
Yes, he's hurt again. And I mean, we'll see what happens as far as when Zach Wilson will make his return.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, the Jets are in a sinkhole right now and are dying. By the way, we did get a comment saying Patriots have killed the Falcons forever, not a real franchise anymore.
ouch. But true.
Very true. It's very true.
Yep.
Okay, where
Man.
were we? Oh yeah, Ravens versus Jets. My gosh, this is gonna be a slaughter.
Kind of what we're thinking. I mean, you've got the Ravens winning 34-14. I've got them winning 34-10. As far as my expectations for who the matchup monster is gonna be, I mean, my gut says, it's Lamar Jackson hoping to like prove his worth and say, "Hey, pay me my money." You know what I mean?
Lame.
But I don't know.
I
Yeah.
have two. I have two.
Okay.
My first one is J.K. Dobbins if he is healthy.
Yeah, that's a big one as far as whether
I
he's
I
healthy.
don't think the Jets are going to have a great run defense, honestly.
Yes, that is true.
My second
He's got to be
one
healthy.
is going to be Rashad Bateman, who I believe is now the Ravens' number one receiver with Hollywood Brown gone.
Yes.
My brain had to do some math. And didn't the Ravens also get Kenyon Drake? I think they did.
Yeah.
I'll double check on this. I'll double check on this while you give your predictions and everything.
Oh no, I mean that's basically what we're calling as far as the end of the Ravens and Jets matchup. Honestly, not looking too hot for the Jets, but it would be interesting to see what how Joe Flacco performs against them.
Oh,
Anyway,
Flacco.
moving
I
on here, we've got our last Sunday morning football game, which is actually Shane, your team, Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Washington
woo! I get to see
Commanders.
my boys.
And
We might
you've
win a
got
game.
yeah, you've got the Jaguars winning 21-17. I've got the Jaguars winning 20-13. I think more than anything, we're just going to see a unimpressive showing from Carson Wentz. I'm not really
Car-
expecting to see anything flashy from the Commanders in their debut with their new name.
Carson Wentz was struggling against the Jaguars, and it ended his season with it ended his career with the Colts. So I don't have high hopes with the Commies either.
Yes,
Man,
yeah,
it
I
feels
would
so
agree.
weird calling it the Commies.
Matchup.
I say it because that's what the fans decided. They're like, Commanders, we need a nickname. We're gonna go with Commies. I'm like, oh, okay, guess that's what we're doing now.
So, matchup monster. I'm curious to see what Trevor Lawrence does against the Commanders defense.
Yeah.
What do you
You
like
and
him?
everybody else, get off of Trevor Lawrence's high horse. Yes, I know he has a flowing mane. I am going to go
Wow, all
with
right.
our option number two. I'm going to go with Travis Etienne. Listen, James Robinson's still healing, but he is, like, honestly, he recovered from his big injury a lot faster than anyone expected. He's currently been practicing in before he was practicing in the red no contact jersey. He swapped that out about within the past week. So he's been practicing with contact, and everyone's saying that he's running fast, he's running strong, and he's running very, very healthy.
Nah, I still expect they'll utilize Carlos Hyde. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh, please no. Oh my gosh. Carlos Hyde is like a trigger word now.
Just because of the Urban Meyer season.
Well, we had Hyde before, and then he got cut, and then he came back, and then he got cut, and then he came back again. And Urban Meyer's like, I want Carlos Hyde. We're like, we have a top 10 running back right here, and you're wanting to bench him for Carlos Hyde? Oh, like,
Okay. With
ugh.
that being said,
By the way,
we
it
now
feels
move
good. I
in.
can say kill the commies, and it sounds completely fine.
Yes, yes. All right, now going into the Sunday afternoon football, we've got first the Packers versus the Vikings. This is what the first score where we differ. You've got the Vikings winning 26-23. I've got the Packers winning 30-27. I guess my reason behind this is although I think the Vikings have a better team, I just anticipate Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur finding some way to just barely get this win, especially the first one of the season.
See, I'm thinking a little bit of history. Is that they're going to have a fluke like they did with last year. Last year, everyone thought the Packers were going to blow out the Saints, and it was the other way around.
Ah, yes.
Now the Packers have lost their number one wide receiver and honestly either the best or second best player on that team. And now the new number one receiver is Alan Lazard.
Right.
That to me, when like if I hear the name Alan Lazard as number one, I'm like, that's not good.
It's not. You are correct.
And they still have Jordan Love for some reason.
Yeah.
Man,
Probably
Jordan
because
Love.
they're probably bracing for when Rodgers finally does decide to bounce next season.
Hey, props to Jordan Love. He's making a ton of money just sitting on the bench.
Props to a lot of backup QBs doing that.
Yeah, but he was a first round pick, so he's making a lot of money.
Yeah, that's probably true. Anyway, matchup monsters. I mean, obviously, if you're going Packers, you got to go with Aaron Rodgers. If we're going Vikings, I am thinking I'm gonna go with Dalvin Cook before I go with Justin Jefferson.
Yeah. We know. You want to know who I'm going with?
All right, sure.
Adam Thielen.
Watch him be ineffective.
Hey, I feel like the Packers are going to target Justin Jefferson or Dalvin Cook a good amount, and that's going to leave Thielen pretty wide open.
Sure, but watch him be ineffective.
You know what? Shut your
You
mouth.
said this like 3 times last season. When you're like, I got Adam Thielen, and then like he gets 0 carries.
You know what? Fine, I'll add another one. Irv Smith Jr.
Well, good for you. Why don't you add Alan Lazard while you're at it?
No, I refuse. You can type that one in.
I'm okay.
Hey, you never know. The Titan could surge.
Yeah, whatever. Hey.
Oh boy.
Now we got the New York Giants and the Tennessee Titans. We both got the Titans getting the win. You're saying 28-17 with the Titans. I'm saying 27-14. It's just because the Giants don't really have a good setup. Doesn't matter what's happening. Saquon's always hurt. Daniel Jones is completely terrible.
Isn't like Kenny Galladay? I think they said like something bad about Kenny Galladay in practice like today or yesterday, where it was he just looked really, really bad in his routes and slow and kind of stiff.
He had a procedure done recently, actually.
Oh, that's what it was. I knew something happened with him. Yeah, the Giants honestly just look like they're in horrible shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I even heard that like that Evan Ingram, who they drafted in the first round with like the top 5, is not been performing well so far.
Yep, I can see that.
With that, my matchup monster, I got the return of King Henry.
Yeah, I'd have to go with him too. Wow, you're really bagging on me earlier for some of the picks I was making.
Okay, but it's the Giants, and Henry was injured. He's come back. He was at the end of the postseason last year. He played in the game that the Titans lost, which I was so happy about.
Right.
But honestly, the Titans got rid of A.J. Brown. They instead, what's his stupid face? I know his name, I just can't think of it. Give me a minute. I'm gonna get there. Treylon Burks. They drafted Treylon Burks to take over the A.J. Brown role, and yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work.
Probably not all that great.
Hey, you never know. Maybe Malik Willis will step in as QB1 throughout the season.
Okay.
You know what? Malik Willis, you're going to be the matchup monster for this week. Someone help me.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, let's go over to the Raiders and the Chargers.
Okay, so for this one, we both got the Chargers winning, but it still kept kind of close. You're saying Chargers win 27-24. I'm saying they win 28-24. I'm just keeping it spread by 1 point.
Oh my gosh, where have we seen this pattern before?
Exactly. So who's your matchup monster for this game?
I think I'm going to go with Mike Williams.
Oh, that's who I was thinking too.
Oh, well, that's boring. Wait a minute.
Fine, I'll go with Austin Eckler.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to be the real hero right now.
Oh, no. I'm nervous.
You should be. You honestly should be. I feel bad for doing this. I'm going to go with Dustin Hopkins.
Okay.
The kicker.
Okay, good for you.
I told you, dude, I need help. I really need help right now. I'm so tired.
Yeah, you're on one tonight. Holy cow.
I'm so tired. Yes, I actually did type him in as our matchup monster. I feel committed to the bit now.
Hey, cool. Well then, who would you get in our next matchup, which is the Chiefs versus the Cardinals? You got the Chiefs winning 24-14. I've got them winning 23-20. Do I need to like put Harrison Butker in there as
No,
my
no.
matchup monster?
Thank you. I also just tried to type out Chiefs because I wanted to look at their depth chart, and I misspelled Chiefs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it was kind of bad. So,
Yep.
um, here's the thing. The Chiefs have some interesting wide receivers because we all know that Tyreek Hill is gone now. And so that's led a lot of people to be like, okay, well, that limits Mahomes to Travis Kelce, who's been his long-standing tight end, who's always done well, and his new number one, Juju.
Forget about Marquez Valdez Scantling.
Marquez Valdez-Scantling is his number two wide receiver.
Okay.
It's wide receiver two. And I wish I knew if he was playing or not because I kind of want to see something and risk it on something, but I don't know if he's really going to see much playing time.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I get it.
No, I was going to say, I want to see Sky Moore.
Oh, yeah, you're bringing him up. That's right.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, I don't know. It's just I don't know how it's gonna look. I mean, it could be super effective. He could be, but I don't know. I
See,
don't know.
and that's the thing. I want to know if he is actually going to get some decent playing time in this game because if he is, I want to put him as a matchup monster. I don't think anyone really knows what Sky Moore can do yet.
There hasn't been a lot of like high opinion on him as whether how much he's gonna get decent playing time though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they got Juju, they got Marquez Valdez-Scantling, they got McCole Hardman, and then Sky Moore is number 4 on that list.
Exactly.
But they could do what some teams do, which is rotate a lot of their receivers in and out between different plays to utilize their strengths and minimize their weaknesses.
Right.
But you know what? I think I'm going to go with Scantling on this one.
Okay.
I want to risk it. Who do you got?
Um. Maybe they'll go running game. Maybe they'll go with Hilaire.
Ooh. You know, the sad thing is, a lot of people have hated on Hilaire a lot.
No, they have.
I mean, the thing is, he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been horrible.
Yeah.
I think it's good to just get some pressure off of Mahomes every once in a while, but other than that, he's not really like something to focus on.
Yeah. No, I would agree. I think he just got a little overhyped as part of the problem.
Yeah, with the being the pick that they took in the first round and everything.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay. We got to move on to Sunday Night Football now, which we have, for some reason, the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. Another score where we differ on. You've got the Buccaneers winning 27-24. I've got the Cowboys winning 27-20. My reasoning for this is simply because of the poor situation that the Buccaneers O-line is in right now. They've had a lot of injuries, players retiring, that sort of thing. And it's not looking real positive for Tom Brady, who is not a spring chicken.
Hey, he just had some
So
surgery done.
that doesn't guarantee anything, Shane.
It's
Well,
plastic
here's what I'm
surgery.
saying here's what I'm saying is I say there's a high likelihood of Micah Parsons coming and sacking Tom Brady
You
a couple
know,
of times.
yeah.
I
That
got Micah Parsons as the matchup monster, and that's how the Cowboys will get this win. And it'll be revenge for last year.
I was like, this is a revenge game. I'm also going with the Buccaneers. To be honest, I've been burned by Brady one too many times in my life now, where Brady finds a way, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna get on the podium. Trust me, I'm keeping the pedestal away.
You got a point.
But I will say, I think Micah Parsons is going to have a monstrous game.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, honestly,
Hey,
Parsons, scary man, very scary
yeah.
man.
Last game that we got, Monday Night Football. Broncos
Revenge
country.
game.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Why? Why? Oh, this is gonna be a season-long thing. I can feel it.
Oh yeah, you know it.
The thing is, we have been watching the same like tit talker dude, and ever since the Broncos country let's ride, he has a Russell Wilson character, and it's literally just Russell Wilson standing in the mirror saying Broncos country let's ride in different ways.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
I
Broncos
I
country. Let's ride.
I literally saw one the other day, whereas all the other players are like, "Is Russell Wilson just a Pokemon now?" And he just starts saying Broncos country, let's ride, and the other player was like, "Oh yeah," and was just explaining what he was saying, even though he was just saying that one phrase.
How he got all that money. He's literally legally obligated if he wants all that money in his contract with the Broncos. The only words that he can say are Broncos country. Let's ride. In that
Okay,
order. It's like I am Groot, but it's Broncos country. Let's ride.
okay, okay. Like no joke aside, right now, real quick, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so you know how Peyton Manning was like one of the masters of audibles, right?
Right.
Russell Wilson's only audibles now are just different ways that he says Broncos country, let's ride. You gotta admit, from a coaching's perspective, that would be amazing.
It's like that one time that um, like that one time where the Raiders were playing and Derek Carr calls an audible, says James Harden, and the announcers were like, "Oh, his audible is James Harden." Well, James Harden never passes, so I'm pretty sure this is a run play. Sure enough.
But I mean, like, how good would that be from a coaching perspective? Just be like, yeah, we're gonna use this in our game plan.
We're
Oh,
just waiting. We're just waiting for when Russ calls an audible. Broncos country, let's ride. Hey, hey,
God.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Honestly, if I was a gambling man, I would probably put a good amount of money that that's going to happen at some point this season.
Anyway, we both have the Broncos winning this game, though. You say 30-13. I say 30-10. Matchup monster in this game. I think I want to go with Cortland Sutton.
You know, I wanted to do Cortland Sutton because that's who you traded me for Michael Pittman. Wow. I don't know why Google Docs just wanted to automatically change how to spell Cortland, but okay. I think. Hmm. Here's where I'm stuck. I'm debating between either Javonte Williams or Melvin Gordon.
I'd say Javante.
I say Javonte because I think Javonte is going to get like I think it's going to be like a 55-45 carry rate, but I feel like Melvin Gordon when he's given the ball, he's going to explode a little bit more.
I feel like he's lost his stride, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, but I feel like in the case of losing his stride, I feel like he's just bulked up and gotten bigger.
Maybe.
All right, so that does it for our weekly predictions. Now, the fun part.
Now we go into fantasy. So Shane, who is one quarterback that one? When I say one, because we always talk about, oh well, this guy could be this guy. Give me one. Who's one quarterback that you think and should definitely play this first week?
You really had to emphasize that one, didn't you?
Because that's what we always did last year. We'd be like, okay, one QB, and we'd be like, here's seven QBs. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
hey, not everybody has that QB, so you want to give people options.
Yeah, okay, all right.
But cause here's the thing, I know who I would play if I had him in my lineup, but I don't have him on any of my fantasy teams, and that's the issue. Where it's like, I know this person's going to have a monstrous game this week, and it's not even going to be close to the rest of the pack in my eyes.
Okay, fine. Tell you what, you can do two quarterbacks. I'll
Haha.
give you two, and I will give you two more. Like I will have to do two separate from that.
Okay. So the first one is Russell Wilson.
Yes, agreed.
I feel like that's a no-brainer. If you have him, play him.
Yes.
The second one, I need to double check and make sure that I am fairly confident with this, so don't judge me. My second one, I think I'm gonna go with Jameis Winston.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
I, I
If
don't think he's on many rosters either, so some people might be able to pick him up.
Yeah, no, I would agree. To offer two opposing opinions as far as quarterbacks would be good to play, I'd say definitely take a look at Joe Burrow up against the Steelers.
Of course.
Um,
Oh,
and,
yeah, yeah,
and another
Steelers.
one, and another one, I would say Matt Ryan because he's playing the Texans.
Heck yeah, I got him in one of my leagues, and he is starting this week.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, what about two running backs?
Two running backs. Ugh, this one hurts me. I'm gonna say Travis Etienne.
Mm-hmm.
I say him over James Robinson because I don't know if James Robinson is gonna be fully healthy.
Right.
You know, mm, mm, I don't know how I'm feeling about the rest. Honestly, I was talking to someone the other day and I told them, I'm like, yeah, looking at the running back, I just don't love a lot of the options going on right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go with DeAndre Swift.
Okay.
I'll go with
I
Swift.
feel okay. I feel like apart from that, just because of the teams that they're playing, you have to look at Jonathan Taylor because he's playing the Texans if you have him, and the other one
If you
obviously
got the
being
first overall pick in your draft, play your
yeah, then
first
use
overall
him.
pick.
You know what I mean? And the same thing would be said if you got Derrick Henry because they're playing the Giants. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Apart from that, someone who could be good because he's probably going to get a lot of carries, I'd say Najee Harris.
I feel like you literally just listed three out of the top five running backs in the league.
You did not like me saying Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry. So here we are. I've got other options.
I went from one to maybe four, then five. I mean, unless you trust Saquon Barkley or Christian McCaffrey
Oh,
to not get hurt.
no, I don't trust either of them. So no.
You have gotten burned so many times with CMC.
I have. I absolutely have.
I think it
Now
was
wide
last year.
receivers.
You were like, "I'm getting CMC." I'm like, "Oh, I would." You're like, "Why? He's good." I'm like, "Yeah, he's good, but I don't like his injury record."
Nope, you're wrong. I didn't want to go get him. I made the mistake and I missed my first draft, so it auto drafted CMC
Oh
for me.
yeah, that's right. And then
Yeah.
yeah, that was sad. Sad day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well, at least I didn't get dead last.
That's true. That's very true. I'm still pissed that I got second. Because the person who won was an auto draft basically the whole draft. And
Sometimes it works.
he just grabbed like the seven best running backs right after the other.
That's the only way to do it.
Oh my gosh, there was just no running backs left. They were gone. Anyway, wide receiver. Who are your two wide receivers for starting?
Jamar Chase for sure. And I'd say another one. I'm debating. I don't want to necessarily say Justin Jefferson just because I know what the Packers could plan for. So let's go with Michael Thomas.
Okay. See, I'm gonna go with Michael Pittman and Kirtland Sutton.
Good picks, both of them. I'd agree with that.
I was like, those aren't like top five picks. They fell into like the middle rounds for the most part, and both those receivers got major upgrades at quarterback and are going against bad teams this week.
Right. Okay, then what about a tight end?
Titans. Titans are the death of me in every fantasy league. I don't find it funny. Ugh. Like I'm even looking at like the Titans I have, and I'm just like, I don't like this. You know what? There's no good tight end. There's like four.
On one end, you say the tight ends will be the death of
You
you.
know what?
The other
You know
end,
what? Shut your mouth. I don't want to talk
on
about the
the other
Titans
hand,
being the death of me.
the Tennessee Titans are also the death of your team.
It's not the Titans. It's not the Titans that are the death of my team. It's freaking Derrick Henry. You take Derrick Henry away, the Titans are like a 3-14 team. Derrick Henry gives them 6 wins a year.
true, actually.
It's like, don't laugh at me because it's true. It's sad, but
Oh,
it's
I
true.
will. Oh, I will. Because remember, I play in the same division as Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, I also have Peyton Manning.
You did, but at least I had respect for Peyton Manning. I got no respect for Rodgers.
Yeah, everybody has respect for Peyton Manning.
Yep, exactly. All right, tight end. If I'm going to sell a tight end debate, I'm going to say, let's see how many carries Dawson Knox can get. I brought him up earlier. I'll bring him in again.
Yeah, I like Dawson. I like have to relook at the schedule every single time because I feel good about a pick and then I'm like, wait a minute, who are they going up against again? I'm like, oh, I don't like that anymore. Yep. I was gonna say Darren Waller, but I'm like, nope, Chargers. I don't feel good about it.
Yep.
Uh,
Same reason. Same reason I say. I'll just say it right now. As far as a tight end you may not want to play too, I'm a little worried about Travis Kelsey.
yeah. There's the number one. Like I'm like, good tight end. I'm like, oh, there's the number one tight end in my opinion of Mark Andrews.
Right. Playing the
Uh,
Jets. That's good.
nope. I'm just looking at everything and I don't feel good about any. You know what? I'm gonna go with Dallas Goedert. Why not?
Okay.
I literally went through like most of the tight ends on my leads rosters and was just like, yeah, I hate all of these. It's that
That's
bad. It
funny.
is that bad. All right,
Man.
let's go to our bench. What quarterback would you bench?
For this season, if I had to pick one, because I'm again kind of doing a speed round here, but I'm gonna say Tom Brady. I'm a little worried about the whole
Ooh, you kind of read my
situation
mind a
with
little bit on
him.
that one.
Yeah, a little worried.
Especially since he's going against the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys, especially with, Brady's offensive line not being the greatest and Micah Parsons is going to be very hungry.
Uh huh.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's kind of a good call. I'm going to say Matthew Stafford.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I can see that.
Going against the Bills, and he's dealing with some issues right now, so yeah. Look, I kept it to one.
You did. I'm proud of you.
I get a gold
Uh,
star for
ru-
the day.
yeah, running back. Let's try and keep this quick because obviously we want to go into our for the fun, and we're at reaching the top of the
Oh,
hour.
yeah. Running back, list your two. I'm double checking mine.
I mean, again, I can't remember how healthy Miles Sanders is. If he's still unhealthy, obviously it's a given that you wouldn't play him. But even if he is healthy, I'd be careful with that one. Um, David Montgomery, most likely, is going to be my
Oh
other
yeah,
one. I'll just throw him up there just because
yeah.
he's playing up against the 49ers defense. Yeah.
To be honest, this might be bold of me to say, but if you have Saquon Barkley, I would bench him.
Yes, I would agree.
I think he's going to be in a very rough week one spot. Um,
Yeah.
my second one. Wow, I could not breathe for a minute. My second one. I don't really. I would say probably Zeke. I would not play Zeke this week.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I would probably go somewhere further down on your roster or something if you have anything. I feel like the Buccaneers defense will kind of keep Zeke in check. But
Yep,
that's but
I would
that's just me.
agree.
Okay,
I would
two
agree.
wide receivers. Let's go.
Wide receivers that could have a tough time. Jeez. I want to say Adam Thielen, but I know that would just make you mad.
Do it. Do it.
Nah, I won't. I
I want to
won't.
feel the pain.
Nah. You're a Jaguars fan. You get enough pain.
Thank you. Hey, you're a Bears fan. Go back to the 80s.
I will gladly.
um,
I don't know. I guess if you've got jeez, what's his name? Anderson for the
Robbie
Panthers.
Anderson.
Yeah, Robbie Anderson.
Uh, is it bold of me for one of mine to say AJ Brown?
No, I don't think so.
I was like, I feel like AJ Brown, and honestly, my second one that some people might have starting is possibly Hunter Renfro.
Mm, yeah, I could see that. He just may not get as many carries is the thing.
I was
Not
like,
carries, catches.
he might not get many with Devonte Adams and Derek Carr and Devonte Adams being college buddies, and then also going against the Chargers.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense.
He's either going to be phenomenal this week because they're going to target Adams, or he is going to be left in the dust.
Be careful with CD Lamb too, just because you're playing the Buccaneers defense. That's the other
Yep.
one I'll offer.
All right, tight end.
Travis Kelsey, I said it earlier. Just I could be wrong, but
That was so fast.
I said it's because I said it earlier.
Oh, I know, but still. Oh man. Um. Uh. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on Travis Kelsey.
Yeah,
You know, I'm gonna go with another one, Kyle Pitts. I'm not sold on Kyle Pitts, especially with Mariota at center,
yeah, that's fair actually.
and especially because Pitts only had one touchdown all of last season
Yep, and that was with Matt Ryan.
in London, so it wasn't even on U.S. soil.
Right.
So he has not scored a touchdown on U.S. soil yet. So
There you go. Well, for playing for the NFL, obviously. Let's hold on there.
yeah, playing in the NFL in a regular season game. I'm not counting preseason bullcrap.
Okay.
Okay, let's do our for the fun section.
Right. So here's the thing: is I think we should go over. This is going to be our preseason awards predictions. We do this every season. Shane, a lot of these we agree on, so let's go over those ones really quickly before we get into the ones that we don't agree on.
Okay.
For Coach of the Year, we both picked Brandon Staley of the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are expected to have a good year, good setup there. It would make sense for him to get Coach of the Year, being it only his second year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, we both picked Breece Hall. We expect him to do really well, despite the fact that he's playing for the Jets. Had a good, impressive start with the preseason. We'll see what happens there. He's got good odds right now too. Defensive Player of the Year, we're expecting Aaron Donald to get another DPOY to his trophy room. We'll see that happens. He may have to throw a few helmets to get that. Shane, you didn't laugh at that? Wow.
I'm sorry. I was having to check something. I missed it, sadly.
Dang it, man. All right, fine, whatever. You missed your chance there. Bummer. That was a good joke.
Don't worry. I'll go back and rewatch this specific spot so I can get that joke.
There you go. There you go. Okay. Offensive Player of the Year, we've got Jonathan Taylor. I mean, highly, the top coveted fantasy player. I mean, it goes without saying.
Wait a minute. Did you make a Mason Rudolph joke?
No, I did not make a Mason Rudolph
Oh.
joke, but I did make a helmet throwing joke.
Okay. I was close enough because I literally saw a meme the other day with Aaron Donald and people were like, "Oh, Mason Rudolph better be worried."
Yep, exactly.
Jeez. I didn't even have to go back. I just looked up and I'm like, wait a minute. The pieces are coming together.
Yep. Anyway, speaking of quarterbacks who hopefully don't get thumped on the head, and hopefully will at least continue to get playing despite maybe losing a coin toss.
Sheesh.
MVP pick, we've got Josh Allen.
Yeah, I think it's time Josh Allen gets that MVP.
I would agree. Now, the two areas where we disagree on are comeback player of the year and defensive rookie of the year. Let's start with comeback player of the year.
Honestly, looking at both these picks, I feel a little cringy inside, but comeback player of the year.
You should.
Comeback.
You were completely biased by these picks. Okay.
No, I'm not. Shut your mouth.
Yes, you do. Come on.
Comeback player of the year. I have Travis Etienne because he was so hyped up last season. He was going to come in. Him and Trevor Lawrence were going to be like this amazing combo. People were excited for it. And then he got injured in preseason and never took a snap. So I have him making a massive comeback because I think he's going to be a very big, vital part in this offense and helping Trevor Lawrence feel better. And I think he's going to be a comeback player from that. I do not disagree with yours. He was my second option.
Okay, but here's the thing. Hear me out here, because obviously my pick is Michael Thomas, but
Yeah.
I have him obviously because I feel like he had such an amazing season a little while ago, I feel like he can do that as far as if he's in the right place, stops fighting with his teammates, blah blah blah. But here's the thing, Shane. Well, we're gonna move past the point as far as whether Michael Thomas is my comeback player of the year or not. But talk about Travis Etienne. Shane, he hasn't played a snap in the regular season. How can you be a comeback player of the year when you haven't played a snap before
I
in the
I
regular
was
season?
looking. I was looking
This
because
is
I had to find the qualifications in the exact lettering of what qualifies a comeback player of the year. And what I
I
said
hate
is that he
this.
didn't have to play a single snap.
I hate this. This is like when Ben Simmons got the Rookie of the Year, even though he wasn't even technically a rookie anymore.
I had okay. I felt bad because I went and I dig. I'm like, what exempts people from comeback player of the year? And looking at the rules for comeback player of the year, in all honesty, they are very vague and should probably be tweaked a little bit. It
Yeah,
didn't even say
probably.
like injury or anything. It's like they went through a hard time. And I'm like, what the heck does that mean? Like it literally could have been like, oh, they just had a really bad season, and then next year they're like, wow, they all of a sudden you get them a good running back, a good wide receiver, an offensive line. Wow, they're comeback player of the year material. I'm like, no. Yes, so I had to look at this up, and I spent probably 30 minutes looking at all the little details of it and just thinking, this is stupid. This is very stupid. They should adjust this a little bit. Hey, at least I put down
Well,
Alex Smith when he came back from that massive, nasty leg injury.
yes, this is true. Okay. Now moving on though with defensive rookie of the year. Now, yes, I understand your pick behind this. I roll my eyes again that it's another Jaguars player,
I do too.
but I
I
understand that there is potential for Trayvon Walker to be defensive rookie of the year. I
hey,
just picked Aiden Hutchinson because I just feel like he's just a better shot in my opinion.
let's look at it like this. I feel like it comes down to these two. I feel like it comes down to these two players. Can we agree on that? It's going to come down to one of these two.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay. The main reason I picked Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson is because from what I've seen is that it's basically going to be he's going to be moving around in a bunch of different positions and moving around that defensive front. And he's also got Josh Allen opposite side of him, so he's not going to be like an Aaron Donald where he's going to constantly get double teamed. He's going to have
Right.
the bigger option, and honestly seeing some of his preseason games like bullcrap on that would have been sacked in the Hall of Fame game against the Raiders. That was a clean hit, touch, whatever, and they threw a flag for him just touching the quarterback as he threw the ball.
Hmm.
Aiden Hutchinson, I would put as Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I feel like there's no one else other than him on that defensive line, so he's just going to get double teamed.
Okay. Yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
See, I had justification for that one. Yeah, I will admit the Comeback Player of the Year, that one is stupid. I will agree with you on that.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that is the end of really what we have for the fun and the end of our episode.
Oh man, it is very good to be back. I hope that I am not this tired next time because my gosh. Maybe that's why I throw it off. You did that at the very start and it threw me off and it's throwing me off now.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Oh goodness, please. Oh gosh. I feel like I just need to go buy a Pokeball just to throw Russell Wilson into it and just be like, there, now I can have peace and quiet.
Not do that, then he won't get hurt either.
Set him free on game day. Be like, Russell Wilson, I choose you. Broncos
There you
country,
go.
let's ride.
Oh my gosh.
All right, everybody. I guess we'll see you next time. Wow, this has been a roller coaster of a ride so far.
Yeah, it's been entertaining. I like it. It's a promise of an interesting season.
Season 4.
There we go.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night. Don't be a Cowboys fan. You know the rules.